Right now, millions of people around the world are asking the same questions. What is happening in the Iran war right now? Is the United States about to get pulled in deeper? Could this turn into something much larger than anyone expected? Because what we are watching does not feel like a normal crisis. Missiles are being launched. Airstrikes are expanding. Oil prices are reacting. Warnings are being issued. But at the same time, something about this conflict feels different. The speed is different. The pressure is different. The risks feel higher. On the surface, it looks familiar. One strike leads to another. One warning is followed by retaliation. One red line disappears, and then another is crossed. But underneath, there is something else building. Something that does not appear in headlines. And yet, it is shaping everything. At the most basic level, what we are seeing is escalation. Iran has launched waves of missiles and drones. Israel has responded with precision airstrikes deep into strategic locations. The United States has moved naval assets, aircraft and defensive systems closer to the region. But this is not just a back-and-forth exchange. It is a rapidly intensifying cycle. Each action is followed by a faster reaction. Each response is stronger than the previous one. And each step is reducing the space for de-escalation. This is why the situation feels unstable. Now, look one layer deeper, because what we are seeing is only the surface. Underneath this visible conflict, there is an invisible infrastructure already in motion. Targeting systems are already mapped. Missile coordinates are already pre-calculated. Defense systems are already locked and tracking. Response plans are already written in advance. This means something very important. Many decisions are not being made in the moment. They were made earlier, weeks, months, sometimes years ago. So when a strike happens, it is not just a reaction, it is the activation of a pre-built system. And once that system activates, speed takes over. There is very little time to stop and think, because modern warfare is not just human decision-making anymore. It is assisted by algorithms, threat detection systems, automated defense responses, real-time intelligence networks. So when one signal is detected, multiple systems respond almost instantly. And that creates a chain, not of decisions, but of triggers. This is the part most people do not see, because it does not appear on the news. Why did Iran reject the US ceasefire proposal? A ceasefire is not just about stopping the war. It is about locking the current situation in place. Whoever accepts first, accepts the battlefield as it is. The current damage, the current losses, the current power balance. So when a proposal comes, the real question is not peace or no peace. The real question is, on whose terms? Now think about Iran's position. If it accepts too early, it freezes the situation before gaining leverage. If it rejects, it keeps the pressure alive, and pressure is power. Because every additional day of conflict can change something. More cost for the opponent, more global attention, more uncertainty in markets. So rejection becomes a tool, not to stop diplomacy, but to reshape it. There is another, deeper layer. Modern negotiations are not happening only at the table. They are happening through actions. A missile strike is also a message. A delay is also a message. A rejection is also a message. Each one is part of communication, not separate from it. So when Iran rejects a ceasefire, It is not simply saying no, it is saying the current conditions are not acceptable. The pressure must continue. The terms must change. There is another deeper layer. The United States is also under pressure. Domestic pressure is increasing. Economic pressure is rising as oil prices move up. Global allies are watching closely, because if the war expands, the cost becomes much higher. So the US is trying to do two things at the same time: apply pressure on Iran, avoid losing control of the situation, and that creates a narrow path. Too much pressure leads to escalation. Too little pressure reduces influence. So what we are seeing is not just diplomacy, it is controlled pressure, trying to push the other side toward an agreement without triggering a larger war. What happens if the Strait of Hormuz closes? At first, it looks like just a narrow stretch of water. But in reality, it is one of the most important pressure points in the entire global system. A significant portion of the world's oil passes through this route every single day. Tankers move continuously. Energy flows without interruption, because the entire global economy depends on that flow. Now imagine disruption, not even full closure. Just uncertainty, just risk, just the possibility of interruption. That alone is enough. Because modern markets do not wait for reality. They react to expectation. So even before anything actually stops, prices begin to rise, shipping becomes cautious, insurance costs increase, routes become slower, and suddenly, the entire system starts adjusting. Uncertainty spreads everywhere. Fuel becomes expensive. Transport costs increase. Food prices rise. Production becomes costly. And this happens far away from the battlefield, in cities, in homes, in everyday life. This is why people are asking, what happens if the Strait of Hormuz closes? Because the answer is not local, it is global. This is why this conflict cannot be seen as regional. Because once energy flow is involved, the entire world becomes connected to the outcome. Is this turning into World War III? This question comes from fear, but also from pattern recognition, because people are seeing something familiar: multiple countries involved, multiple regions active, multiple systems under pressure. But modern conflict does not expand the way old wars did. It does not always begin with alliances declaring war. It spreads differently, through networks, indirect involvement, economic disruption, technological influence. Now look one layer deeper. This is not one war expanding. It is multiple tensions connecting. Regional conflict connects with energy markets. Energy connects with global economy. Economy connects with political pressure. And slowly, everything becomes linked. So instead of one large explosion, you get a network of smaller pressures, all interacting at the same time. And this is why it feels like something bigger. Because even if it is not officially called a world war, the effects are already global. So the real question is not, is this World War III? The real question is, are we already inside a system that behaves like one? After all this, all these layers, all these explanations, something still feels incomplete. We understand the actions, we understand the responses, we understand the pressure, but one question remains, a deeper question. Why does it feel like everything is moving without clear control? Missiles are launched, responses are immediate. Markets react instantly, decisions are made quickly, but no single moment explains everything. No single leader explains everything. No single event explains everything, and that creates a strange feeling, as if the conflict is not being fully directed, but is unfolding on its own. And this is the point where everything connects. Because to understand this war, we have to stop looking only at decisions and start looking at something else, the system behind those decisions. Who really controls this war? Now we return to the question. At first it looks simple. Iran makes decisions, Israel responds, the United States intervenes, so it feels like leaders are in control. But when you look deeper, that explanation starts to break, because each of these countries is also reacting to pressure, reacting to risk, reacting to systems already in motion. The military system pushes action. The energy system spreads impact. The economic system increases pressure. Internal politics forces decisions, and none of these can be fully controlled. They can only be managed, and sometimes not even that. This is the part most people miss, because we are taught to see war as decisions. But modern war is not just decisions, it is interactions. Between systems, between pressures, between forces that build over time. And when those forces align, control begins to weaken. Leaders are no longer fully directing events. They are responding to them, adjusting to them, trying to stay ahead of something that is already moving. So in the end, this war is not controlled by one country, not Iran, not Israel, not the United States. It is shaped by a system where pressure builds slowly, layer by layer, until everything starts moving together. And when that happens, no one has full control anymore. They emerge from systems. And once those systems activate, even the most powerful players are inside them. Thank you for watching. If this inspired you, hit subscribe, like, comment and share. Be part of our journey. Beyond identities, beyond borders, beyond divisions, our destiny is one. You are watching Next Horizon Global.